everyone. Welcome back to our 7-day yoga challenge here at the beginning of the fall semester at UMaine in 2020. Definitely has been a different sort of start to the semester already. Hopefully this yoga challenge has sort of set you up well for the semester ahead, and maybe even took a few things away from it that you can take in to the rest of your semester, the rest of your year, to help support you along the way. I've loved being a part of this and sharing everything, and I don't think I've been good about saying it each video, but my name's Abby, and I've been a yoga teacher here at the Rec for about a year now, and it is so awesome to be able to do this while I'm getting my master's. I'm also a student here. So with that being said, we can go ahead and get started on day 7, our last day. And since it's the last day, I wanted to do something a little bit different. And that is a restorative practice. So the goal for this isn't so much to stress the muscles, to strengthen them, or even really get into a lot of flexibility, but more to just hold the shapes for a long time, several minutes, and let gravity and time and a restful approach kind of work a different sort of magic in the body. So this is an especially great practice if you're feeling really tired or not up for a full exercise session, but really just need to do something to support yourself a little bit more. So we'll basically just be doing 3 poses in about 15 minutes. The videos range from 15 minutes to 25-ish minutes in length. So this will be a little bit of a shorter practice, but they're longer holds. We're going to hold each pose for about 3 minutes. And then we'll end in a Savasana like we normally do. And of course, we'll start with our sitting little meditative moment before the practice as well. So we can go ahead and get started on that right now, finding a comfortable seat wherever you are, in your chair or on a comfortable piece of floor or carpet, on your mat, or leaning against the wall maybe, just somewhere you can sit for a few minutes and close your eyes. And mentally check in to this practice. Check in with your goals and your expectations of yourself. Restorative yoga is a great opportunity to be compassionate with ourselves and to take the more restful route and to literally restore. That's where the name comes from. So what needs restoring for you today? And then noticing strong sensations in the body, and especially if there's something that's feeling a little bit uncomfortable. These longer poses, things that start out comfortable can turn really, really intense or distracting soon. So just notice if you're walking in with anything to be mindful of and any modifications you want to think about. And remember that you can adjust at any time, and you can change things up at any time. Everything I have for you is a suggestion, and you can leave whatever doesn't serve you. And then turning our awareness to the breath, especially for a restorative practice, really tuning into the breath and almost marking the time with the breath. Inhaling deeply through the nose, feeling the belly button pull away from the spine, the lungs completely fill. Exhale, draw the belly button to the spine, all of the air escapes your lungs. Inhale deep into the belly. Exhale, release. Sighing it out maybe. Inhale and exhale. Few more breaths, rounds of breath like that, really settling into a restful place. And when you're ready, gently flutter the eyes open and we'll prepare to move and then not move the body for a while. So the first pose on the docket is child's pose, and we've probably done that at least once in every day of this challenge. But this one's going to be different in that we're going to be holding it. So especially if you have any sort of sensitivities, I definitely encourage you to cushion everything as much as you can. You can take the knees widely and fold in between your two knees, sort of letting your chest and your belly reach down towards the mat, forehead on the mat, hands grounding down. Or you can have the knees closer together, so there's a little bit more compression and a little bit more rounding in the spine. And either way, you can reach the arms forward or backward. And so maybe just trying out a few before settling in for a little bit longer than 2.5 minutes to go. And I'll mind the time and call it out when it's time to come back up. Really embracing the quiet in this practice is one of the hardest parts. Noticing what sensations are coming up in the body that maybe you didn't expect. And always turning back to the breath, knowing that we have just a minute longer here. See if you can get any more restful. Thirty more seconds. Slowly prepare to move. On an inhale, begin to press yourself up, maybe really arching the spine, coming all the way up to table, cat pose. Maybe bending the spine for a little cow and a few rounds of that. And then we'll make our way to our backs for the next pose, the next two poses, and then Savasana. So again, make sure that you're very comfortable. If you don't already have a blanket, I highly recommend it, or something to prop your legs up with, but that will come next. For this next one, you don't really need much. Just make sure that you have a couple of things around. And lower down all the way onto the mat. Bring the feet planted, the knees rising up. Take a couple of breaths here to settle in. And then walk the feet close together, let the knees fall apart for Supta Baddha Konasana. And here you may just like to let it hang out like this, or you can prop up your knees with some pillows or some blocks like this or some other sort of support. It's totally up to you, but just allow the gravity and time to kind of take over. I like to rest my hands on my belly and just breathe and enjoy the next 3 minutes. And if any intrusive thoughts come up, distracting you from why you're here right now, then just acknowledge that they're there and then let them go. Sort of like watching clouds pass in the sky, or watching people or cars walk by your window. No need to engage, just a passive observer. And becoming comfortable with the quiet. Halfway through. Keep grounding down. Keep breathing. More seconds. Slowly on an inhale, reach the arms down, help your legs back up to the center, and either take a breath here in stillness, letting everything settle back, or windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Good. And then bring the knees back up to center. Let's do a restorative inversion together. So, as always, a few options here. You can stay here with your knees pointing up, laying down on the mat. That is plenty of inversion. If you want a little bit more, you can either roll up a blanket underneath your sacrum, or grab a block or a book or something of that nature and slide it underneath you, a big pillow. Or you can go to a chair or side of the bed or even the wall and reach your legs up on the surface of the bed or chair like this, or all the way up the wall like this, and you can certainly leave your legs dangling up like this without a support or anything underneath you, but I think it will be hard for the whole 3 minutes. So once you've settled in, we'll go ahead and start that 3-minute timer right now. And then again, always just going back to the breath first and last. There's a lot to notice when we're not moving. All of a sudden we can hear the blood rushing in our ears. We can hear our stomachs gurgle. We can hear all of our joints crack and creak. But we're always coming back to the breath, and that's the meditative practice, the mindfulness aspect. A bit more than halfway through. More seconds. On an inhale, slowly flutter the eyes open. Come down off of the wall or bed or chair. Lift the hips and remove props if you had it. Come all the way back down to that neutral spine. That was a little back bend and inversion if you had your hips up too, so just notice that feeling. And if just leaving the knees up doesn't feel quite right, maybe take the feet wide and knock the knees in towards each other for a low back release. Couple of breaths there. And now it's time for Savasana. We've made it Savasana number 7 in our 7-day yoga challenge. So of course, any option that you like, that you've heard of, is welcome here. And traditional looks something like this: arms out to the side, palms facing up, feet relaxed a little wider than hip width, shoulders tuck them underneath, and let go of all of the holding. And I encourage you to just pause the video and hang out here for 5 to 10 minutes if possible, and really reap the benefits of your physical practice by letting it all integrate in Savasana, the whole point of the class. So with that, once you're done with your Savasana, I'd like to close out the 7-day challenge and this practice with one last thank you to you all for participating, for giving me the opportunity to have a yoga challenge, to film one, and to provide you with some practices that hopefully you can use maybe again in the future. I look forward to hopefully seeing you around campus this year from a 6-foot distance, of course, and I hope you have a wonderful start of your semester, and the light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Namaste, Black Bears. Stay healthy, stay safe, and have a wonderful fall of 2020. Bye-bye.